Race 3 in the junior LC40 category. And 4 of the top 5 in the championship standings pack the front 2 rows of the grid. Pole position with Ross Maguire, a 2nd and 5th position finish in his 2 appearances so far this weekend. He's 2nd in the point standings, behind Casey O'Gorman, who is directly behind him here on the grid on P3 on the starting line. O'Gorman with a sizable championship advantage, 190 points. His only drop points coming, 10 drop points at the opening round of the season at Llandough. Since then, he has been unbeaten. 6 successive race wins. Watch for the progress of Casey O'Gorman then from the inside of the 2nd row of the grid. Declan Connell has been on the podium in both of the 2 races so far this weekend and had an excellent defence of that 2nd place against Aidan Davey last time out. Aidan Davey starting directly behind him, currently 3rd in the series overall. And watch for the progress of Bailey Stewart Campbell from P8 on the grid. He's 4th in the 2017 championship. Good start from Casey O'Gorman, but he has nowhere to go but all the way around the outside, and he does so successfully up into 2nd position. So Casey O'Gorman already on the march, the front 2 breaking clear as they head down towards McRae's for the first time. And the first of 2 successive hairpins with Casey O'Gorman launching his way through from 3rd to 1st then by the time they've completed half a dozen bends. Casey O'Gorman challenging for the race lead against Ross Maguire, the top 2 in the championship, dicing in the top 2 positions. And it's O'Gorman who comes through the stewardesses and back towards our home straight commentary position. Fight going on for 3rd position as well. Aidan Davey cutting his way through. That was a good aggressive ride from him. So at the end of the opening lap then, it's going to be Casey O'Gorman in top spot, Ross Maguire in 2nd position. 3rd place is with Aidan Davey. Declan Connell dropping back from 2nd to 4th, and that's the main story of the opening lap, as well as the recovery of Bailey Stewart Campbell, just as I suggested would probably be the case. From 8th position, he's already up to 5th. He finished in 4th place last time out in race number 2, having finished 5th in the opening race of the weekend. The top 4 have blasted clear in this category traditionally, and it's Casey O'Gorman who has been the regular top man. 0.3 of a second his lead over Ross Maguire at the end of the opening lap. It wouldn't surprise me to see it grow compared to that. Ross Maguire, though, was a consistent podium finisher in this category. His 2nd race here this weekend, the first time he's actually been off the podium in this class in 2017. O'Gorman in front, Maguire in 2nd, Aidan Davey in 3rd. Certainly one of the favourites for the championship this season after winning the opening 2 races in Llandough. And here he is on the march, a new fastest lap of the race from Aidan Davey, who's in 3rd, but now right on the tail of Ross Maguire. He's got to clear Maguire before he can go after O'Gorman and renew what's been a regular rivalry between the pair of them in this 2017 season. Maguire, meanwhile, is having a nibble at Casey O'Gorman in front. The top 3 riding brilliantly here, all within a second of one another. Declan Connell is keeping up, less than a second in arrears of them from 4th position, but at the moment he's more worried about looking over his shoulder to Bailey Stewart Campbell. Stewart Campbell dropping 0.7 of a second back on that previous lap, so maybe not too much to worry about for Declan Connell. The front 3 are the favourites for the podium here because they have a significant advantage and seem to be opening that up with every passing lap. But if they squabble against one another and cross one another time, there may be an opportunity for Declan Connell to get back into the race. 2 podium finishes for Connell so far this weekend. This would be the first time he's missed out, as down the inside dives Aidan Davey. Has to back out of it at the last moment as Ross Maguire covers the position, covers the racing line. Still, it's a 3-way tactical fight. 0.2 of a second the gap between the front 3 at the end of that lap. Aidan Davey with another new fastest lap of the race from 3rd, and 0.2 of a second faster than Ross Maguire ahead of him. There wasn't too much ground for him to make up in the first place, but he's made it all up. And Ross Maguire is now under severe pressure going into the top turn. Aidan Davey trying to find a way through. Can he find one through the stewardesses then? And back towards the chicane. The last chicane of the lap. Casey O'Gorman is opening up a bit of a gap on this lap, thanks to Ross Maguire holding back Aidan Davey. Davey was able to gain at such a rate on these 2 out in front, but he hasn't been able to use that pace to find a way through. Here they come once again, back into turn 1. Still Aidan Davey behind Ross Maguire, and as I said, that lap around, Aidan Davey just stuck racing at the same pace as Ross Maguire ahead of him, and Casey O'Gorman, meanwhile, has been able to set his personal best to accelerate away a little. Ross Maguire coming back at him. So at the moment, this race is between the three riders who came into this round as the top three in the championship. They're still the top three in the championship now. Casey O'Gorman it is who leads the way. He's got a 51-point series lead and he's set to extend it. Both Ross Maguire and Aidan Davey need to capitalise when they're on the same pace as the favourite. Coming through the chicane then, Casey O'Gorman going around the outside of lap traffic. That then becomes the inside for Paddock Bend. Aidan Davey tries to seize an advantage. They go almost three abreast coming into Paddock Turn, and Aidan Davey once again held at bay by Ross Maguire. Davey looking down to the inside. Again, he's not close enough to make the pass, and each time he makes his rival aware of his presence down the inside, he enables Maguire to cover the position and move away. Less than a tenth of a second though between them, and now goes Davey through. He makes it around the outside into Iredale to come through for second position. Now, does Aidan Davey have the pace to go after the race leader? Has he been released? Ross Maguire certainly slowing coming off Iredale's. And Aidan Davey, who had enough speed to really gain on both Casey O'Gorman and Ross Maguire, now that he's past Maguire, will he also be able to do anything about Casey O'Gorman? Just over 2 laps still to go. Casey O'Gorman leading the way. If he does manage to win this one, we've been informed that it will be his 50th race victory in this championship. A very impressive accolade for Casey O'Gorman, but it will also do his championship standing the world of good in this junior LC40 category. It will be a 7th consecutive race win in this class. And as I said, he's leading Ross Maguire, and at the moment by a clear position, with of course Maguire down in 3rd place. O'Gorman setting a new fastest lap of the race on lap number 6 of 53.8, so that gap is up to over a second for the first time here. Aidan Davey is going to have to pull something very special out of the bag if he wants to get the better of Casey O'Gorman, and it might be the case that Davey can simply only settle for second, which would be his best result of the weekend, and actually his best result since the opening round of the season at Llandow. The front two have left Ross Maguire, who still sits in 3rd place. Declan Connell starting to come under some pressure now from Bailey Stewart Campbell. This group is closing right up, 4th, 5th and 6th positions. And then a big gap to the remainder of the pack from 7th down as they come over the start-finish line once again. Declan Connell, Evan Belford getting the better of Bailey Stewart Campbell on that lap. I did wonder if that was the 52 machine ahead of the 99, and it is indeed the case. So Stewart Campbell, who'd been fast on the previous lap to gain on Declan Connell, ends up losing a position, and still those 3 riders fighting over places. Casey O'Gorman then, the race leader with a 1.5 second advantage. He's eked out that gap with new fastest laps of the race on each of the last 2 laps, and he's coming through the chicane for the final time now, heading on towards the checkered flag. A 3rd win out of 3 in the junior LC40 category at round 3 of this 2017 campaign. Over the line to take yet another checkered flag is Casey O'Gorman, who wins. Second home will be Aidan Davey, another creditable ride from him, in fact his best of the weekend, and that will help him to gain on Ross Maguire, who sits in 2nd in the championship and who comes over the line in 3rd, but only narrowly ahead of Declan Connell, who sets a new personal best on the final lap. Evan Belford home for 5th position, 6th place with Bailey Stewart Campbell, and then the group behind that I was talking about earlier, Emmanuel Brinton coming home for 7th, and then Ryan Hitchcock, Taylor Lawrence and Ollie Walker rounding out the top 10.